First of all, about Daniel, he's a little more responsive. They're running the test over at Norton. We're logistically trying to make some arrangements with our bus right now, and we'll go straight there. Those of you that know kind of a little bit of background about Bellarmine basketball, me and a monitor's not really the best friends. But they went over to the monitor to actually see. I suggested to Tony Green, who's is one of the best officials in the country. I said, how about Dr. Stevenson going and using the monitor to let's see exactly what happened, and we'll know what to treat. So it was held, through U of L and Norton and the doctors. That was a grand slam. We're really lucky.
What did happen?
He caught an elbow right in the temple area. Now I didn't see it. I'm going by what the officials and doctors said, but that was handled really, really in a first-class way. I mean, that kind of puts a lot of faith in where you go into an event. The basketball game, kind of a tale of two halves. They were incredible the first half. I mean, they made some tough shots, and then the turnovers allowed easy shots. And you say, well, how can one half be like that and another half be like that? Welcome to college coaching. Anybody that has a college-aged child, you can identify. That's what happens. It's not going to be a perfectly wrapped package with a neat ribbon. Our goal this week, going into today, was to leave and to have a boost going into Saginaw Valley, the defending regional champion in the Midwest region in our level. And you go in that locker room right now, we accomplished our goal because of our play the second half. And what the tendency would be, a team like Bellarmine plays like this in the second half, the tendency would be it's all three-point shooting because it's a great equalizer. We took 8 in the second half. That's all. And I'm really, really proud of our basketball team. I know I sound like Coach. He loves his guys. I love our guys. That's what we talked about before the game, how fortunate we are. I can't comment on other people's programs, but I know through recruiting what a lot of it's like. But I know what my players are like, and those players play together all summer, and I know what they're like. That's 2 groups of first-class college athletes right there.
How much fatigue was the third game in a row?
Well, I said to them, because I try to keep hiding it from them, let's take all of college sports. Any sport, male, female, any level, Division 1, 2, 3. And please call me or text me or run me down if somebody plays 3 top 22 teams in the country on the road, true road games in 6 days. Somebody tried to correct me. They said, well, baseball. No, you're playing the same team in a series. Now, that was a little ambitious. But if I get a couple days of treatment, I'll be back in practice and I'll be okay. It'll be all right. Those are 3 really good teams. You know what I'm going to take away from that as a coach? They're all different. And the one thing that I learned very early as a young coach, there's more than one way to be successful in the game of basketball. Those teams are all different, but they're all very, very good teams. They're all rightfully ranked. Cincinnati, they are with their style. Indiana, no question. Louisville, without a doubt. And, we're going to take a lot of pride. There's going to be a lot of teams lose to those 3 worse than we did. And don't think those kids don't look at every single score. But I'm proud of them. Fatigue, that's okay. We're not worried about that. You've got what staff? Who asked the question about fatigue? You forgot what staff I came from? Fatigue never enters into that. I haven't forgotten.
Coach, how does it feel to see your team kind of rally around seeing their teammate fall down and then to come back and they really came out on fire?
They did it for each other. They're special. I'm the luckiest guy in the world to coach those guys. I mean, it's every minute of every day. You got something special when you sit down and you write out a practice plan with your staff, and it's a 2-hour and 20-minute practice, and you go down there and practice, and it's over in like 10 minutes. You're like, oh my gosh. And the reason, it's really fun to teach when you're teaching students who want to learn. And I call the players students. It's really fun to teach. Now, it's a little frustrating when sometimes you get a little animated and they're looking you in the eyes like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just waiting for one of them to go, yeah. I don't think they do that. They're amazing. And I tell you what, you know what they were talking about? And they were talking about the crowd. They were talking about the crowd. They felt they were really, these are not the most knowledgeable people in all of college basketball, that they really appreciate them. That's what they were talking about. I went back in after I taken my coat off. I went back in. They were all talking about that. That means a lot to them. And they earned it. And nobody gave them that tonight. I'm proud of them.
What were you like at halftime of this game?
Excuse me?
You're talking to your guys at halftime. What was your demeanor with them?
Just go out. Let's do the best we can. Let's try a little harder. No, it was a little. It wasn't. No, I'll tell you exactly. I will tell you exactly. We defined it very simple. Bo Braden had 2 guys he watched. Doug had 2. Felton had 1. Now, you not going to play hard and walk over there and look at Felton Spencer? Yeah, good luck with that. And we said, if they're in their opinion, you're not in your stance doing the things we're asked at maximum effort, you're coming to the bench. If they take you out, everybody gets to play before you play again. If you ask to come out, 2 possessions, you're as tired as you can be, tell me you're ready and run back to the table and go in. And they handled it. They're a very mature, intelligent group of young men. Eric, no, I was,
You guys had
I was mad.
You're talking about dealing with teenagers right here.
Yes, I'm sorry, Tim.
And you're down 26-3. Did they get over that more quickly than maybe you do?
No question. You just kept me awake now for the next 2 nights. Totally. I mean, I can't. I'll tell you though, the reason we were behind, we kept saying in the timeouts, when you're attacking a pressure basketball team, either half court or full court, when you don't attack, it's a feeding frenzy because they have nothing to lose. I mean, they can gamble, shoot the gap, back tap, dive, block shots, because you're not attacking. Why should they not? When we started attacking, toward the latter part of the half, it started coming around. Then we attacked the entire second half. Now, why didn't they attack? It's easy to say, very difficult to do. It's easy for me to sit there and say, go attack Mango and Dangadell. Go attack them. I'd like me to tell you that. But their confidence grew as they did the things we practiced. Because the bottom line, and Tim, you all know sports, for me to simulate that in practice, impossible. Impossible. But when it really came down to it, we were a very fundamental team in the second half, and that I'm proud of. It wasn't a fluke. I mean, I think we had 1 3 that kind of hit dead and just went in, but it was just sharp passing. I think we had 14 assists the second half. Is that correct? 14 assists the second half. That's how we play, and I was proud of that.
First possession, you took 13 passes and then had an offensive foul. Was it your plan to slow the pace?
No. We didn't have anywhere to go. I mean, it's like we were playing against 7 guys. I mean, they're long, they're linked. I think the other thing that happens in the first half, and this happens every year we play Louisville, their length and quickness is so good. Those shots that we hit in practice, in this game, you're 8 to 9 inches further back. You shoot it a hair quicker. You arch it a little higher, and it doesn't go down. Now, you give them credit for that. We're not the only team they do that to. I mean, their length and their athleticism can swallow you up whole. I tell you, I'm excited, and I watch every game. I see a lot of practice in them. They're really improved basketball team. I mean, they're good. They're good. I mean, Donovan Mitchell and Dangadell. I mean, there were some times we played good defense, and man, I mean, that's, you got to give them credit too.
Come away from this encouraged?
Yes, but I was encouraged coming in. Not as much at halftime. But I was encouraged coming in because I'm with them every day, and I'm with them. I know we came down here practice last night. It was a great basketball practice. We were practicing for Friday night last night. We shot this morning. We had individual instruction. We had our walkthrough this afternoon. It's very good. I mean, this 6 days was tremendous for us. I mean, I'm so thankful to Louisville and Cincinnati and IU. You can't express that. It's great for Bellarmine, but it's great for those kids.
You
Now, I've seen Indiana and Louisville back-to-back. How do they compare? How are they different?
Well, Indiana, it's going to be interesting because Indiana's trying to play, and to give you a reference point, almost like North Carolina. I mean, they're trying to get it up there as in breakneck speed, and they're very similar teams. Louisville's interior players probably are a little better. Indiana's players, the athleticism with Dangadale and Donovan Mitchell going against OG and Johnson, those guys, whoa. I know that game's like New Year's Eve in Indianapolis. That should be a tough ticket. That's two really good teams. Like, I like that Louisville team. For what I like to watch basketball, I like that Louisville team. There are some teams that are very good, and some people like vanilla, some like chocolate. I like that basketball team. And I'm not just playing to coach. I mean, I do.
Any more questions for Coach?
Coach, you pride yourself on getting 60% or more assists on your baskets. You had 17 out of 22. That's almost 80%. That's got to be something to fall back on with this group.
Well, in the second half of Cincinnati the other night, I think we were 14 out of 16 baskets in the second half. We're all off assists. That's how we play. We're going to attack you with pressure, but we want to make you chase the ball instead of us chasing you defensively. I mean, we don't have that kind of athleticism. But they're, you watch us practice. It's a lot of fun to coach them in practice. I mean, the ball doesn't settle. Now, the teams we played in the last 3 games, their size and strength and athleticism can erase a mistake like that. So they're okay. They're good. Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, George had a career high tonight, 15. What's it going to do for you guys if he does that consistently?
Oh, my gosh. Well, let's go back to July when we put him on scholarship. And for those of you all that don't know, and we bragged on him in the locker room, 4 years ago in September, George Nott was sitting in class at Bellarmine. His basketball career had ended at Providence High School the previous spring. His sister played volleyball. His career was over. As a favor to the family, because his sister was a Bellarmine athlete, I went to watch him play in high school. He couldn't play. We had 2 players go down with career-ending injuries. My assistant said, Coach, George Nott's a student here at Bellarmine. Hadn't touched a basketball since June. We go get him out of class. If I ask an assistant coach to have him make 5 in a row at 5 spots, you would still be there. We put him on scholarship and named him captain the 3rd week of July. And we did it in front of 242 campers to hope that those kids can say, man, there's hope for me. We had his parents hidden on the stage. It's one of the neatest things I've ever done. And he is the Hubie Brown to Coach Pitino to Billy Donovan and on the 29 branches that live on individual instruction, it's George Nott. That's amazing. 6 for 7, 4 rebounds, 26 minutes. Career over 4 years ago. One of the neatest young men I've ever coached.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla, no question. Thank you all very much.